Great.
A very good evening to all viewers, those who are going to watch. As we know, this time of pandemic, everyone is passing through tough time. As per my experience, we require some strength, which we take from each other. So Global Edu Leader Forum has thought of coming with the series of global seminar conference on emotional intelligence. As we know, emotional intelligence is directly connected to our heart, and we are working with the concept connecting head to heart. This was the theory which came into existence in 1990, and two psychologists, Peter Salovey and John D. Meyer, has come up, and they explained about 5 components of emotional intelligence. So basically, emotional intelligence is a skill to enhance life. Emotional intelligence is a skill to motivate people. Emotional intelligence is a skill to adopt. Emotional intelligence is a skill to overcome with the problems. In short, I can refer a book that is Daniel Goleman, who has written, we have 2 brains. One brain think and another brain feel. So we have today a speaker, Panthea from Sri Lanka. She will be the keynote speaker. We have 4 panel speaker, 1 guest speaker, Nirmal Mahana. She is head of North Zone GEL. We have our Vice President, Anil Pathania. We have our spokesperson, Mr. Rajesh Rathore. We have Vice President for North Zone, Puneet Kaur. We are here to look into this component of emotional intelligence. So with this note, I invite Panthea. She is one of educator who is doing something from heart. I keep interacting. I still remember her talk on 7 C's. So Panthea, over to you. Let us know more about emotional intelligence as a keynote speaker. You have 5 to 7 minutes to talk. Over to you and welcome to you, Panthea.
Thank you, sir. Right time, because it completes 1 year of being part of the GEL family. So I'm really happy. On the 21st of May, I completed 1 year being part of this great forum and family. And I thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity today to speak on emotional intelligence. And when you gave me this topic, I was thinking it's something very close to my heart, and as well as what we need to know in this trying times of pandemic, where we've been stuck in one place and we can really feel low and down. So I remember the words of Eric Jensen when he said, there is no separation of mind and emotions. So emotions, thinking, and learning are all linked. And that is the most important thing we should remember. Emotions, thinking, and the mind, they're all linked together. So those were the words of Eric Jensen. And with that, I want you to come into this frame of mind where you picture. Just imagine in life there are times you look at someone and wonder, how is she always so totally in control of things? How is that person so comfortable where he or she is? So it could be a colleague at work who deals with a lot of tricky work, stressful work. It could be someone who makes a total stranger very comfortable the very moment they meet them. And you wonder, how do they do this? So that is where the answer comes. And it lies in emotional intelligence. That is the ability to monitor their own emotions as well as others. And if we are able to keep track and analyze our emotions and keep others in check, I think the battle is won on that. But it's a long process. And as Sir was explaining, this emotional intelligence psychological theory was first introduced by Peter Salovey and John Mayer. And I would like to quote what they said. It was in their own words. They speak about emotional intelligence. It's the ability to perceive emotions, to access, to generate emotions, and also to assist thought, to understand emotions and emotional knowledge, and to reflectively regulate all your emotions so you promote intellectual and emotional growth. So that is the basis, the foundation on which Mayer and Salovey laid their base work. And to further add to this, we had an American psychologist, a science journalist, as Sir also mentioned about Daniel Goleman, and he contributed immensely with his book on emotional intelligence, and that's one of the best sellers in the market, especially related to work, people who balance their personal and professional life. The first thing that came across my mind as I was preparing for this, can emotions be measured? You know, a lot of things people say is that if you're emotional, you know, you're being a baby. You're being a very weak person. But no, that's not the case. Emotional intelligence can be measured. And emotions are physical and instinctive. So instantly prompting bodily reactions. So our bodies react for reward or in threat. And sometimes in between, we are stuck there. So the bodily reactions that you can measure, your pupil dilation through eye tracking, your skin conduction test, the brain activities through EEG, MRI scanning, and also the heart rate. So ECGs and the facial expressions. So these mechanisms are used to measure emotions. So something very real. It's not that a person who is weak in heart, but it's something very real that happens. So if we break it down into layman's terms, and if we tell somebody, okay, analyze feelings. Okay, so what are feelings? If we look at this concept, while emotions are associated with bodily reactions, and those reactions are activated by the neurotransmitters and by the hormones that are released by the brain, and feelings are the conscious experience of emotional reactions. So you get your emotions, thereafter, feelings are the conscious experience of emotional reactions. And according to Daniel Goleman, we have the 5 popular concepts of emotional intelligence. And I think our GEL members will elaborate on these, the 5 concepts that come as self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. What I want to touch on is how do we increase our emotional intelligence? So I just found some facts and figures through research. The first is to use assertive style of communication. So emotionally intelligent people, they know how to communicate their opinions and the needs in a direct way while still respecting others. That's very important. You can give out your idea, at the same time you respect the other person. And then the other fact is respond instead of reacting to conflict. So during instances of conflict, we are emotionally having outbursts, right? And we feel anger, and it's very common. We are all human, but emotionally intelligent people, they know how to stay calm during stressful situations and also not to make impulsive decisions based on those emotions. Moving further, listening skills. So if you want to be, you know, having active listening skills in conversations, if you have a high EQ, as they say, people listen for clarity and they wait for their chance to speak, and they respond to the other person after they have been spoken to. So there is courtesy and respect in communicating and listening. Then motivation, which is a very long topic to talk about, but in a nutshell, if you are to increase emotional intelligence, you should be self-motivated and your attitude motivates other people. So you set goals that are resilient when you face challenges. And it's just like the pandemic. All of a sudden we are locked down. Then there is no lockdown. We move out. Then again, there is an issue. So you get that strength through motivation. And positive attitude. I think positive attitude is something we all, are learning and working on, because the power of positive attitude is very immense. It's not a simple thing. So just as negative attitude affects another person, emotional intelligence helps you to have a positive attitude, so that when you are around people, it could be having breakfast, it could be engaging in prayer, it could be having a meeting with your friends. There you could have a positive vibe that goes from you to them. Nobody is perfect, but that little attitude can change your entire perspective of it. And self-awareness. So the most important thing, in order to help somebody else, we have to be aware of our own emotions. And if we can pick up the emotions we have and analyze, we are able to better relate to others. So if you have emotional intelligence with you, that is a plus point for you. And criticism. We all don't like criticism, do we? We don't take it sometimes positively and for our best. But if you develop your emotions and feeling analysis, you will definitely understand that whom you take criticism from, and for your own constructive resolution, you can become a better professional in life. Empathy. Now, empathizing with others, it's something as a teacher, we always, say it with our students, our parents, our management, all that. But when you really have to fit into the shoes of another person, it takes a lot of courage. And I think that comes from your innermost being. And if emotional intelligence is something that helps you to open the door of mutual respect, understanding between people of different cultures, different perspectives and backgrounds. Then leadership skills is something that's very evident in people with good emotional intelligence, because they have those traits that will make them productive on a higher level, and they will perform better at work and in their personal lives. They'll be able to balance out both and work. And the last factor is on socializing. I mean, who wouldn't like to be around a person who smiles, despite the situation, get the best out of life? So with all those in mind, one would ask, can we learn emotional intelligence? So the point I'm going to end on is about, can we learn emotional intelligence? So as research has shown that there are people who are naturally gifted with this knack of relating to others, analyzing and connecting with other people. You can learn emotional intelligence and you can interact more at work, be effective, and use this to help you personally and those around you. Because what it all needs is finally the 5 components that the members of our family will talk today. So when you combine those 5, it's a learning process in life. It's like womb to tomb, you'll be living and you will be emotionally remembering. And I want you to remember this. There is no separation of mind and emotions. Emotions, thinking, and learning are all linked. Eric Jensen said those beautiful words. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think as a keynote speaker, you have justified and elaborated topic very well, very scientifically with the data. Moving to take further elaboration on the topic, which is the component of the emotional intelligence. Now it's a time who can always justify the self-awareness and who is aware about others, no other than my great sister and president for North Gel. More than that, I think she has practiced a lot self-awareness. I keep learning from her. She is known as a bold voice of JNK, I must say India, because whatever she speaks from the heart. So, Nirmal Mahana ma'am, welcome to you on
Thank you so
self-awareness.
Thank you so very much, and first of all, I want to tell thanks to Penthea. This wonderfully, she has elaborated on this topic, which is very, very close to my heart also. After all, we are human beings. We have to deal with the intelligence and emotional intelligence. Because when you are interacting with children, definitely you are dealing with the mindset of children. So who are emotionally very, very weak, because teenagers, middle age, these are the time when the child is very vulnerable also. It's very important. As Penthea said that the one very important aspect which I have picked up is you unless you it becomes very difficult. uh, you know uh, SK, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Carry on.
Okay. And when we are dealing with children, when we are dealing with the parents, so as a leader, it's very important for all of us to work on self emotional intelligence, because unless you have that positive attitude, uh, and without losing your temper, how you interacting, how you solving the problems of the children, how you are understanding the needs and the requirement of the parents without getting hyper, it's very, very important. I am a person who's got I'm a very short tempered person. I used to be. But over the period of time, interacting with people, understanding their requirements and their feedback, and when you have that one-to-one interaction emotionally, where the people are understanding the cause, where the people are understanding, yes, you are working for their benefits, when they understand that, yes, it's for the benefit of our children, the life of our children, they also keep supporting you. So I am very lucky that for last 37 years of my career in various areas, I've been interacting with people, and these people have been supporting me very well. So today I can say that I am a very, very balanced, emotional person, because I don't lose my temper very frequently, which I used to be. I can correlate, I can connect with the people. I can understand and I can imagine and visualize the background of their problems, and then it becomes very, very important for a person, for a leader, to give that kind of feedback and that kind of help to them. So I have really these things have really changed me, and today I can say that it's a self emotional intelligent person is a balanced person, which with the God's grace I am today.
Thank you so much. I think you have practiced it and you have demonstrated, because we all keep learning from you, your active behavior, your empathy with others, your socialization. I still remember the maximum program which was being conducted during under your presidency. Anyway, moving to the man of linguistic. And if I say he is always self-motivated, who keeps motivating others too. No other than Rajesh Rathore sir, coming with the topic self-regulation. Rajesh Rathore sir, connected?
Anyway. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, SK sir.
Most welcome.
For really giving us
please,
such
over
a
to you.
Right. So for giving us such a wonderful opportunity, and undoubtedly emotional intelligence, something really the buzzword. And as Daniel Goleman said himself, the weightage which may be given to emotional intelligence in order to be the CEO of any top multinational company, that is 67%. Means of the total persona, 67%. That's the reason people may have louder degrees, they may have great experience, but they may not be great in emotional intelligence.
I think he has some network issue. Anyway, I can connect you after once he come back.
He has joined. He has joined,
Right.
sir. He has joined.
I will say that how to make our children and staff members in a school situation or in parents emotionally very balanced, that's a huge challenge. So friends, I would like to take up self-regulation as a topic which is with me. So I would like to reflect on it. Self-regulation or self-management is the second of the three key areas of personal skills that take up emotional intelligence. It is concerned with how do we control and manage ourselves and our emotions.
This pandemic has taught us to increase our patience with lots of
How to be patient.
lots of network. Supriya, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
So I'm taking Supriya Chauhan, a dynamic advocate and a young leader who can motivate us with the topic motivation, because she keeps motivating.
And my
So
sweetheart.
welcome to Supriya Singh Chauhan. Over to you. 5 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Right. So self-regulation. So I will say certain components are there which are very much required to be self-regulated. So first of all, it is self-control. So by self-control,
Rajesh sir, आपकी आवाज सुनाई नहीं दे रही.
Rajesh sir,
it's not clear.
If you can hear me, there is an issue with your sound. So I am taking Supriya. Maybe if sound comes back, we will take you.
Oh, fine.
Is it okay? Supriya, I think once he come back, we will take. So
yeah.
Gratitude from Global Edu Leaders Forum. We want to hear, because I have seen your few of the social media video, especially women empowerment and all. So let's talk about motivation. Over to you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. A very good evening to everyone. और पेंथिया जी, she spoke so well. और महाना मैम तो उनकी क्या कहूँ मैं, मेरे पास शब्द नहीं है वो क्या बोलती हैं. And she's always encouraging. और आप भी, I have just joined. लेकिन जो the thing which I got is, it's something close to my heart. I was not told even that what I am talking on which topic I am going to talk about. So it is motivation, something actually close to my heart, and I am actually blessed. Motivation. अगर इस वक्त पर बात करें तो motivation is the most important thing one needs, during this pandemic time. Motivation to yourself, motivation to the people around, motivation to your family members, motivation to your friends, everybody. क्योंकि प्रेरणा ही एक ऐसी चीज है जो आपको हर चीज से बाहर निकालती है. If you're sick and if somebody says you will be fine, वो इतनी बड़ी motivation होती है that you will actually be fine. So motivation means that you can do anything, that I can do anything, I will do anything, and whatever comes to my mind, I just need to put it into, my words, into my deeds, into my things, and you can make anything real in actuality. अब लेकिन है motivation की कैसे जाए? Motivation में पहले you need to motivate yourself. unless until you are not motivated, you cannot motivate the people around. पहले जैसे मैं कहती हूँ, empowerment and enlightenment अपनी करो तभी लोगों की कर पाओगे. If you are not motivated, अगर आपको ही लगता है कि आपको कहीं ना कहीं फिसल जाओगे, कहीं ना कहीं आपका गोल आपको नहीं मिलेगा, you cannot motivate people around. And motivation is the need of the hour. Motivation during pandemic times also, you find people who are infected with this such a deadly and fatal virus. All you need is, I know, I'm 101% sure that this virus is just 40%. The rest of the 60% disease is psychological disease. So you need to motivate the people who are the family members of the infected people, who are the loved ones, who are the family members. So you just need to tell them, okay, नहीं होता भाई, you need to take care of your people. आप ले ध्यान दें और आप थोड़ी सी एहतियात बरतें. देखें, आप जैसे मोटिवेशन देंगे लोग ठीक हो जाएंगे, लेकिन जब आप ये कह देंगे, oh my god, you contracted this virus, you are finished. The moment you said this thing, their motivation level goes zero, it becomes zero, and you finish the human being. So motivation in education, motivation in ambitions, motivation in any sphere of life is very important. It's just like the staple food. The way we eat, we need food to survive, we need energy to survive, same we need motivation to survive in this life. Because with motivation, I am 101% sure you cannot live this life being humane, being some qualities of human being. ठीक है, animal life is okay, you don't care what is happening, a person who's just living nearby you. लेकिन अगर आप इंसान हैं तो आपका फर्ज बनता है, you need to motivate your people around, you need to motivate every child जिसको लगता है मैं कुछ नहीं बन सकता. क्यों नहीं बन सकता? We have so many stories जहां कहते हैं कि 10th फेल हुआ और उसके बाद इतना बड़ा प्रधानमंत्री बना, इतना बड़ा प्रेसिडेंट बना. APJ Abdul Kalam story, he says that I failed twice and he everything of country. He is a never forgotten hero. आप इसलिए लाइफ में मोटिवेशन सबसे जरूरी है. और इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस का मतलब ही यही है, you are intellectual when you have empathy, when you can aware people, when you can aware yourself, when you can motivate yourself, when you can motivate people. So then only coming to this life, coming to this world, the purpose of coming to this life would be realized. तो इसलिए मुझे ये लगता है कि मोटिवेशन हर लेवल पर इंपॉर्टेंट है और मोटिवेशन सबकी करें, irrespective of strata, irrespective of the people, irrespective of the position, irrespective of income, irrespective of money, irrespective of anything, caste, creed, sex. You need to motivate people and you'll find this society a happy society, a prosperous society, a creative society. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Supriya. I think you have justified your talk with your voice, your body language. Self-motivation can motivate to the people. So salute you. Taking a speaker who has been always social in our group as per our practice, no other than Anil. He is most socialized person who keeps connecting each other. So over to you, Anil. Vice President, JNK Global Edu Leaders Forum.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Thank you. And the topic which was given today, like emotional intelligence and basically talking about these social skills. So basically, I'll say that social skills is a very broad term, but it is also used quite specifically in the context of emotional intelligence. In emotional intelligence, the term social skills basically refers to the skills needed to handle and influence other people's emotions effectively. This may sound like manipulation, but it can actually be as simple as Panthea said, like as understanding that smiling at people makes them smile back and can therefore make them feel much more positive. So social skills can therefore be considered as the final piece of the emotional intelligence jigsaw. So we can say that emotional intelligence starts with the understanding of your own emotions, that is the self-awareness, then being able to manage themselves, that is the self-regulation, and then use them to achieve your social goals, which is self-motivation. And once you are able to understand and manage yourself, then you start to understand the emotions and feelings of others, that is empathy. And finally, to influence them, you need social skills. So I think the term social skills covers a wide range of skills, which can be persuasions and influencing skills. It could be communication skills. Yes, leadership skills, management skills, which I have learned from Hana ma'am, change management skills, building bonds and rapport, something which is very, very important, I think. And then the collaboration and cooperation, team working skills, all these skills are important. As far as persuasion and influencing skills it is basically the art of enthusing others and winning them over to your ideas or proposed course of action. People who are the emotion and fine tune what they are saying to appeal to those involved. So the communication skills are again an vital part of this component. This is, you need to be able to listen to others, also convey your thoughts, perhaps more importantly, your feelings. You should say the things from your heart. This is what I believe. Then, like I said, conflict management skills. Conflicts and disagreements can arise at any time, often seem to appear out of thin air. And the art of managing and resolving conflict is crucial, both at home as well as at workplace also. And it starts by being aware of the importance of tact and diplomacy and how these can be used to diffuse difficult situations. I think good conflict managers are able to bring disagreements into the open and resolve them. They use sharing of emotions to encourage debate and open discussions, reducing the hidden currents and problems, and helping each party to recognize each other's feelings as well as logical position also. They also try to obtain win-win solutions. So I think the leadership skills is another important aspect here. It may sound strange to include leadership skills as a part of social skills, but surely emotional intelligence is a part of leadership and not the other way around. The answer is that leadership skills and emotional intelligence, they are inextricably linked. Only those who are tuned into their own and others' emotions can hope to influence. Perhaps the key aspect of good leadership is influence and being able to take others along with you. Some people call that as charismatic leaders or charisma, but it is more profound than that. It is, I think, good emotional intelligence. So I think these things matters. And then the building rapport, that is something which is very important. It is vital to be able to build and maintain relationship with each other. And I think developing this skill will lead to better relationships and a much better ability to work and get on in life.
Thank you,
People
Anil,
who are great at this. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think you have justified the entire social skills, which has played, I think, vital role of anyone's success life. We are rejoining, and after that, we will listen to Puneet Kaur. She is Vice President GEL for North Zone, but at the same time, the topic which she has chosen to talk about, empathy. Once you put yourself in others' shoes, once you realize others' problem, in fact, this is the whole outcome of your other intelligence of 4 part. It end up with this. So I'm just restarting meeting, we will join and then we'll continue for next 10 minutes for further open discussion.